welcome back to another video. So today I thought I would do a little breakdown for those of you who were interested in my tarot card reading that I had the other day. I thought I would break down for you the meanings of what the reading meant to me. There is a little bit of stuff I don't really want to share just yet. Something coming up in our lives that I'm not ready to share, but eventually I will share it with you guys. So be on the lookout for some exciting news coming up pretty soon in a few weeks. But other than that, so I'm just going to basically go through kind of what she told me in my reading and like how it hit home for me and what it meant to me. So the first thing she said was that I need to be more compassionate towards myself. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I have a very self-deprecating sense of humor, and that means I'm always picking on myself, and I'm the first person to say something bad about myself before somebody else can say it. Or, you know, if I think that person might be thinking something bad about me, I'll be the first one to say it before they can say it or think it, you know what I mean? So it's like, if I'm feeling extra fat, you know, one day, or extra ugly one day, I'll be the first one to say like, oh, I'm hideous, you know, or oh, you know, I don't know, you know what self-deprecating means, I'm sure, you know. If you don't, you can Google it. But yeah, I'm very much not self-compassionate at all. I'm very, very, very hard on myself. I expect a lot from myself. I'm very compassionate when it comes to other people, and I definitely need to work on being more compassionate with myself and more forgiving for mistakes that I make and have made in the past. There's still things from years and years and years ago that I have a really hard time forgiving myself for and have not forgiven myself for. Even though the other person might have already forgiven me or have gotten over it or forgot about it, I still beat myself up about things all the time that have happened in the past. So I'm really bad with that, and I really do need to work on that. So that was the number one thing that she brought up, and that's what it meant for me about the self-compassion card. So anyway, the next thing she said was that to expect miracles. And I thought that was really interesting because it was like the angel card is what it was. And the funny thing is that if you guys have ever looked into numerology and angel numbers, if you see repeating numbers like 1111, 222, 333, 444, if you see repeating numbers a lot, like when you look at the clock, like I almost never look at the time, but a lot of the time when I'm working, I'll look up at the clock, you know, because I work in a hotel and every guest room has a clock in it. And if I just happen to always look up at the clock, and lately it's been like clockwork, me getting those numbers, 1111, 222, 333, 444, like and multiple times a day when I used to only see it every once in a while. So I think it's kind of interesting that I would get that. And so when I started really noticing that I was seeing those numbers all the time, I Googled it, like what do these numbers mean for like numerology or whatever. And it basically tells you that, sorry, the boys are headed back to the car. So when I Googled what the numbers mean, it literally tells you that it means the angels are watching out for you, that you can manifest miracles, that you can, like, if you request things from your spirit guides, your angel guides, and you do basically, like she said, the law of attraction, where you are trying to manifest what you want to happen in your life, that the angels have your back and they're watching out for you, and that if you try every day to manifest, that it will actually happen for you. And so that's also something I need to work on, is actually practicing the secret and manifestation and being more positive and thinking of the things that I want. My problem is deciding the things that I want in life. Like, I don't really know. I never really can decide what I specifically want. So I have a hard time trying to manifest, because I mean, I don't really know what I want, I guess, or I feel like it's not possible to have what I want. So I have a hard time deciding on what I want to try to visualize. So anyway, so that, I just thought that was interesting that she picked that card saying that the angels are here for you. They want you to manifest. You can manifest miracles, so basically try harder. So that's what I need to do, is try harder and practice, you know, doing it. Okay, and then the third card was the no card, which meant that there is a big decision coming up, and just to think it through. Don't make any rash decisions. And there really is a big decision coming up, and I have had to sit down and It's been very stressful going back and forth with, should we do this thing? Should we not do this thing? So we have been thinking it through very thoroughly and trying not to be rash, because I'm very impulsive. And Luis is kind of like a go with the flow. So if I decide I want to do something, he just jumps on it and does it with me. So I'm kind of the one that has to slow down and really think things through, because he'll basically just jump on board and do whatever it is that I say I want to do. So he's very supportive in that way, but I have to slow my roll and decide if this is right for us or whatever. So that's what I've been trying to do. So I have been, you know, doing that and thinking about things more thoroughly, you know, trying to be more adult, because I'm almost 40 and it's time for me to like actually think my actions through a little bit more before doing them. So that was a good reminder to think things through before making decisions. So anyway, let's go on to the next set of cards that she had for me. Okay, so the next set of cards were the Mermaid cards, and the first Mermaid card, I don't remember what she said it was, like what the name of it was, but she said it was saying how my third eye is opened and I have really good intuition, but my third eye is not opened all the way. And the thing with the tarot card reading is that I know these things and my intuition is really good, and I do know when things are true for me, or when, I don't know, like she said, sometimes you just know things and you can't explain how you know them. And that's me. Like, I'm very intuitive, and I try really hard to always listen to my gut feeling. And I've noticed anytime I ever go against my gut feeling and my intuition, something bad always happens. So I always try to trust my gut, trust my intuition. And that's what I'm saying. Like, in my mind, when she said that, I was like, oh yeah, I already know that. I already know that I'm trying to open up my third eye, that I need to meditate more, that I would really like to open up my third eye all the way so that I could have more psychic abilities and have more abilities to be in touch with my intuition. And it's just interesting how when you hear something, it's like discernment. Like, for people who read the Bible, it's called discernment, where you're reading something and you're asking for like the truth to be told to you, and you just know in your inner heart like what the answer is and what the truth is, and it's almost like your spirit guides or God is giving you the answer. I get that all the time without even having to ask. Like, I know when something is true for me, or I know when something is correct or wrong. Like, I have very good intuition. So I just wanted to say that she was correct about that, and I do want to work on opening my third eye more to become even more intuitive and more in touch with like my spirit guides and stuff like that. So I know a lot of people don't believe in this kind of stuff, but I feel like when you're Aquarius, you're already kind of attached to the weird things in the world, or what are they called? I don't know. You're already kind of in touch with like the spiritual part of the world and the creative part of your mind, and like you think outside the box. You're not afraid to think outside the box and be more into spirituality than religion, and more into thinking for yourself than following the crowd, and like stuff like that. So it doesn't embarrass me to say that I believe in tarot card readings, or that I believe in astrology, or, you know, stuff that a lot of people think is woo-woo. It's really not. Some people are on different levels of life, or their signs, the way their signs are and the way that they are, they're more blocked off and unbelieving to that sort of thing. Like they can't fathom like being into that kind of stuff, or that it could be true. But I also think that has a lot to do with our signs. Like, because I'm an Aquarius is the reason why I'm more in touch with that side of life, and everybody's here for a different reason. So everybody is here to learn something different, and in this life this is what I'm supposed to learn, and in another life it might be what someone else is supposed to learn. And you know what I mean? I don't know if you guys can like understand what I'm talking about, but let me know in the comments if I'm making sense to you, because if I am, then you're probably more on this same kind of spiritual path that I'm on in this life. So the next card was the Blessings card, and it was just reiterating that if I follow the secret and I try to manifest, that those kind of things will come true for me. So that's just basically a piece of advice. I can't really interpret it other than, yes, I need to do that and actually follow through with practicing manifestation. So the next card is the Recognition card, and it just said that I was finally going to be recognized for something that I've worked really hard on. And I know this is gonna sound cheesy, but the only thing I've really worked hard on, other than being a mother, is YouTube. I mean, I've been on YouTube for 6+ years now, I think, and I work really hard at it, and it would be nice for my channel to finally start growing. And I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's what hit in my heart when she said you're finally gonna get recognized for something and reap the rewards of that. To me, that meant YouTube. So I'm praying and hoping that it meant YouTube, and all I can do is, you know, keep trying to manifest that. So if you like my videos, like and subscribe and share, and please tell your friends about my channel, because that would definitely help me out with manifesting growth on my channel. So that's what that card meant to me. Okay, so the funny thing is the very next card was surrender your attachment. So it was that I needed to surrender something, and the card was surrender your attachment. So she was saying that I needed to surrender my attachment to results, and I think that also ties into my YouTube channel and me worrying too much about how many views I get or how many subscribers I have. So I do need to work hard on it, put out content, and then let it go and just let it be and not stress over it or worry about it, and just enjoy the process and do what I love and make the kinds of videos that I enjoy, and just let it go and hope that, you know, my manifestation will make it happen, that things will turn out for the best. So I thought it was so funny that was like the very next card that she said. So okay, yeah. So the next deck of cards was the Angel Prayers deck, and there was 2 cards, and she said they go together, and that the first one was new beginnings, that something, you know, big was coming up for us, and it was a positive change. And I told her, like, I already know what that is. It's something really exciting for us. That's the thing that I can't share with you guys yet what it is, but you will know, you will find out when it is time. Gary and the boys are excited about it. They're hanging out here with me in the car while I finish this video. But anyway, so something is coming up for us. We're praying and hoping that everything turns out the way that we want it to, and trying to manifest that everything goes smoothly. So when the time is right, we'll let you guys know what that is, but she was right that something is coming up for us, and we are very excited about it. So let's see what the second card was that goes along with that. Okay, so what she was saying was that the first cards, the blessing cards, was saying that the angels were going to help us with the change, and that it was a good positive change, and that they were going to help us get through it. And then the second one was the studying, the learning, like studying type card, where anything I want to study will be blessed. So if I wanted to go to school for something, or if I wanted to learn something, now would be the time to concentrate on that. And I don't really have anything specifically for that, but I do love to read books about nutrition, and I have thought of either going to online school for the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, or maybe for either that, or maybe just doing like cooking classes, just so that I could be better at making recipe videos. And I also love learning editing, so I'll probably put more time into learning how to edit better, and it's just nice to know that those things will be blessed and will be like favored. Basically, if I put my effort into that, it'll supposedly be favored, and it will be good for me to do that. So I do like to learn, and yeah, so anyway, it's just nothing specific that comes up, just it's nice to know that you know, of course, learning is always a good thing. So anyway, nothing specific for me in the works on that one though. Oh, and it also meant the more I study like spirituality or something, the more my third eye will open, and that is something I want to work on, is practicing meditation and trying to open my third eye, and stuff that I already talked about before. So that goes along with the learning card as well. Alright, so the next was a keeper of the Oracle card, I believe, and it said that, she said that Virgin Mary came forward to me, and the funny thing is that it was to tell me that I don't always have to be right, or the fact that because I do tend to be right, you know, the majority of the time, that I need to pick my battles and not press the matter that I know that I'm right or whatever, which is 100% me. You can ask Luis, I'm always right. And it's not just that I think I'm right, it's just that I always turn out to be right. And I do need to be more compassionate towards not having to be right all the time, you know, and letting somebody else, just like they said, pick your battles and don't always force the fact that you have to be right. And that is definitely something I need to work on. And I know a lot of other Aquariuses can relate that you love to be right, and it's hard to step back and walk away and let somebody else just think that they're right, even though you feel like you know they're wrong. So yeah, definitely something I need to work on. But so that was correct. Okay, and she said the other part of the card was to heal issues I have with my own mother. And I'm not going to get into details about that, but yes, she was correct about that. There's always been things in my mind from my childhood and stuff that I haven't really gotten over, and things that I should probably go to therapy for, but that I never have. And I, for some reason, have an aversion to going to therapy, but I need to work through those things and forgive my mother and move on from that. So that is something that, yes, I do need to work on, but I'm not going to give any specific details about that. But yes, that card was right as well. Sorry, the lighting's starting to get a little weird on my face, but hopefully it's not bothering you guys too much. Okay, so the next card was like the White Eagle spiritual card, and she said that also connects to my ancestry, like my mother's side. Like we were just talking about my mother's side having issues, and like me having issues with my mother's side of the family. And that this White Eagle card is saying like that I need to heal something through our family line coming from the maternal side of the family. And for me, I don't know 100% if this is true, but my intuition was telling me our weight problem, like the mentality I have of weight, the mentality I've had my whole life of like weight loss and weight gain, I've gotten from my mother, and my mom probably got it from her mother, and you know, so on and so forth through the generations. And I also have Crohn's disease, so I don't know, that could also be a part of it, of how I need to heal that in order to change and grow and heal something in that family line. I don't know if that's it, but that's just what came up for me, so I believe that that could be part of it, but I don't know for sure, so I just have to work on that. And what I mean by that is I've always struggled with my weight, and I've always let it really, really affect my self-esteem and every aspect of my life. It has always affected very strongly. And that's why I have such a hard time having self-compassion for myself, because I'm really, really hard on myself when it comes to me being overweight. I've been overweight since I was 13 years old, and I've always struggled with it, and it's always affected my self-worth very strongly. And so I think that's why, and I mean, I got that from my mom. My mom has always struggled with her weight, and I've always seen that my whole life, and it's affected me. The way, you know what I mean? Like your parents influence you, and it just, she wasn't doing it on purpose, but the way she viewed herself affected the way I view myself. And always being on a diet, and always being self-deprecating, and always not being happy with herself, it made me the same way. And it's a cycle that I need to break, and I think that's what I mean. Like, it's a cycle coming down from the generations probably that I need to figure out how to break that cycle in our family. I don't want my kids to end up the same way, where they're always stressed out about how they look and unhappy with their weight and everything. So that's what I think it means. And so the next card was Freya, the Norse goddess card, which went along with the other spiritual eagle card about letting go of the past. She was saying to let go of the past. You have a cycle coming through of letting go of the past and having a new beginning and starting over. So she was just reinforcing that I have basically Norse goddess warriors watching out for me, that are protecting me and have my back, and that I need to let go of the past and embrace the future. And this new big thing that's coming up is going to be really good for me, and that they have my back, and that, yeah, just need to let go of old things and embrace the new things coming into my life, and that they're here to protect me and watch out for me, and it's all going to be good stuff. So those two cards just went together, and sounds all good to me. Okay, so she said the next card was the Shield Maiden card, and that was also from the Norse tradition, which means, she said, if two or more of the same one come forward for you, that means you have a bloodline from that tradition, which is, you know, the Norwegian people from Norway, which were, I believe, the Vikings, which is also funny because I've always felt like I have a warrior spirit, and I feel like, I've always felt like I am. Okay, I don't know if you guys have ever heard the song Warrior by Avril Lavigne, where she's literally talking about how she's like basically like this Viking goddess warrior. And that song, when I first heard that song, I was like, oh, it made me cry. I was like, oh my god, this is my song, this is me and my fight with my Crohn's disease my whole life, or not most of my life, you know. And I really, that like meant a lot to me and speaks to me And I feel like that's me. And then to hear this whole thing about about me being about like 40% Norwegian or something like that. I've never done my own DNA, but my aunt is like 40% Norwegian, and that means I have a lot of Norwegian in me as well. And so it's interesting that those are the cards that came forward for me from Norway, from the Norse gods. And yeah, very interesting stuff. So that was just another thing that was hitting home for me. Okay, and what it also was saying that the reason that the Vikings basically did so well in their fights was because they planned ahead. You know, she was saying that I need to make sure I'm planning out things, and this thing coming up for us is definitely something that I have to like plan out and think through. Like I said, to be cautious, think through, plan things out. So it's just like reinforcing again, like you have this positive change coming and you really need to plan things out so that you'll be prepared. And the reason that these warriors were so successful is because they planned ahead and they knew what they were doing and they thought things through. So it's just reinforcing basically the other things and just saying, yes, yes, plan things out, you know, use your brain. Anyway, and that the warriors are here and they've got your back and they're watching out for you. The warrior women. All right, and the next card was the Mirror card, which was about self-reflection. And once again, you know, basically saying stop being self-deprecating, appreciate the things that you've done for yourself, acknowledge the things that you've done and how far you've come. And again, I equate that to my Crohn's disease and my health and me taking the steps to become, you know, vegan, be on a plant-based diet and take control of my own health. And I need to give myself credit for that, because a lot of people don't do that. They just don't take responsibility for their own bodies and how they have control of their own health, and that they can make a change if they want to. And I need to give myself credit for that. That's how it came up for me, and that's what I believe it was about. And because sometimes I do forget. It's been so long since I started this journey of changing the way that I eat and changing my lifestyle that I don't really, it's like second nature now, and I don't really give myself enough credit for how much I've changed and how much I've grown and learned since coming to this lifestyle. And I just need to like reflect back and give myself credit for the things that I've changed in my life to better my life. So that's it. It's just, and I just agree with that I am hard on myself, and I do need to give myself more credit for the things that I have accomplished. Even if they're might seem like little things to other people, they have been a big struggle for me, and I need to acknowledge that and give myself credit. So that's what that meant to me. All right, so the next card was the Elder card, and it said it was to move beyond limitations that have been set for me by family members or self or past like past generations or whatever. I did find that very interesting because I grew up with, I guess you could say, kind of learning disabilities. Like I had to go to special classes, resource classes basically for math, and I always grew up, I have a memory problem, so I used to get tested all the time when I was a kid because I have this memory problem that I don't even know what it's called. It's never, like, I don't know what they diagnosed me as because I took all these tests when I was really very young and when I lived in Germany. And basically I don't know what if I was diagnosed as something. I was never told what that is, except that I was just told that I have a memory problem, which I know that I do. But I always had to go to resource classes for math because my brain can't hold on to basically math stuff, just goes in one ear and out the other. Basically I have a really hard time learning anything except very basic math. And my whole life, you know, it made me feel really stupid. I always felt like I was really ignorant and stupid because I had to go to these special classes, and it always really affected my self-confidence, along with my weight problems affecting my self-confidence. And it just says you need to overcome like limitations that have been set on you, and I kind of think I mostly already have, because I've come to realize that everybody is smart in their own way, and that I am very intuitive, and I'm very like everybody has different kinds of intelligence, and book smart isn't the only kind of intelligence. Like, yeah, I'm very intuitive, I'm very good at reading people, I'm very good at understanding people, I'm very good at reading body language. Like, there's very different kinds of being smart, and I'm more, I don't know how you would explain that, but I'm more like emotionally, I guess I'm more emotionally smart than book smart. And so you know, I know that I'm not stupid. I might not be the smartest book smart person, but I'm not a stupid person. And I have taken classes and gone to college, and I've proven to myself that, okay, if I really wanted to do this, I can do it. It's harder for me, and it takes a lot more effort and work for me to get through classes, but I've already proven to myself that I'm not stupid, and that if I wanted to finish college or do those things, that I could. But I don't feel like those things are for me. I've tried them, and I just don't feel like they're for me, and the effort that it takes me to do it is not really worth it for me, because I might learn all the information and be able to get through a class, but I always end up eventually forgetting the information. If it's something I don't use on the daily, something that is like a book thing, I won't remember it. Like, I might learn it for the short term to pass a test or something, but I'm not gonna remember it in the long term, so it's not really worth me learning it, you know what I mean? So that's what it means to me to be smart, is that I'm emotionally smart and I know how to read people and things like that. So yeah, that's what that one means to me. Oh, and also about the limitations thing set on you by family or whatever. I was always kind of told that I would never go to college, or I've had my parents tell friends, this is like in the 90s, but my parents once told my best friend's family that I wasn't gonna go to college, or maybe not my parents, but my mom said I wasn't gonna go to college, and that I couldn't go to college basically because of my learning disabilities, and that really infuriated my best friend's family. Yeah, but anyway, so there have been limitations set on me, and that made me always feel stupid and that I wasn't ever going to accomplish anything. But I've proven to myself that if I wanted to do it, I could. And school is just not for me. I'm not really interested in that. I'd rather learn things on my own and learn things that are kind of like alternative. Like, I wouldn't want to go to school for, like, if I was going to go to school for, say I wanted to be a doctor or something, I wouldn't go to school for medicine. I'd go to school for alternative medicine. Like, I've always been on the alternative mindset of things. So I'm not really interested in traditional schooling anyway of any kind. It's not really for me. It's not what I'm interested in. But now I know, because I've tried it and I've proven to myself that I could do it if I wanted to, that those are one of the limitations that I had to overcome, and maybe it's telling me that I'm not completely over it and that I need to work on it more, but that's basically what I think that card meant. Alright, so the last part was about my relationship with Luis, and just basically telling us that we need to take a vacation, which I already knew. It's been so many years. It's been like, I don't even know, I think like 5 or 6 years since we went on a vacation alone. We've only ever gone on one vacation alone without the kids. So it would be nice to get away and have alone time with him. So I just need to work on that. I don't know if it'll happen, because we have, like I said, things coming up that are going to be taking priorities. So I don't know if that'll happen or not, but it also said to get outside and, you know, be in nature and love trees, which is true. I freaking love trees. I love nature. I love being greenery. Like right now I'm sitting at the park. I mean, I'm in my car, but I've got the windows open and I'm enjoying the weather. It's really nice out now that it's the end of October. And yeah, I love wintertime, and Las Vegas is the best because the weather is like so freaking nice, and I absolutely love going to the park with the kids and hanging out and just enjoying nature. And so yeah, we'll be doing more nature-y things. We always do more nature-y things during the fall, winter, spring. Those are the times that we get outside and do things, and I just need to remember that. My soul resets and I feel so much better when I get outside and do some nature-y things and not sit inside all the time just watching TV or watching YouTube. So yeah, I just need to concentrate more on that, and yeah, nothing really more in depth about that. It was just kind of advice from my guides to get outside and enjoy nature, which I already know that I need to do. So it's just a nice little reminder. And then the very last card was about coming into my spiritual self, which we talked a little bit about. So yeah, I just need to actually stop thinking about meditating and actually start doing it, and reading books about self-love. I know I need to read some Louise, I think that's how you say her name, Louise Hay books. And like, I have all of these like self-help books and stuff that I never read. I have them a bunch in my wish list on Audible and everything, and I just sometimes I buy them and I never get around to actually listening to them. But I need to focus more on my spiritual self and growing, and like we said, opening up that third eye, and trying to become even more like spiritually aware, and just practice, you know, connect with nature and things like that, because that's kind of how I feel more spiritual, is just connecting with nature and Who knows, maybe I could learn some more stuff about what it's like to be a Wiccan, because I know they're very into nature-y type stuff. Maybe I'll read about that. I don't know. Let me know if you have any suggestions for books or whatever for opening up your spirituality, other than the Bible, because I grew up in church and I'm not going that way anymore. I'm more into spirituality than religion. That's not really my thing anymore, religion. So yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. That was the whole breakdown of my tarot card reading. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked this video. Subscribe if you're new here. And for everyone else, thanks for watching my little broccoli bites, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!